Today we see the example number 48. In the example number 48, the Suman Publishers purchased a copyright from Mr. Ramesh, an author who has written a book on environmental science. Okay, Suman Publishers purchased the copyright from Mr. Ramesh. Therefore, Suman Publisher is the publishers, they are the lessee, and Ramesh is the author, he is the lessor. Okay, and book name is Environmental Studies. The terms of agreement with the first agreement is the minimum annual payment be rupees 10,000. That means minimum rent. Minimum rent is rupees 10,000 and royalty rupees 2 per book sold. Okay, rate of royalty is rupees 2 per book sold. Here we got 2 points. One is minimum rent 10,000. Second is royalty rate rupees 2 per book sold. In this point, you have to very clear about whether the rate of royalty is on quantity sold or quantity produced. You get it clear, then go for the solution. And second point is Ramesh has right to recoup the short working out of royalties in the royalty out of royalties in excess of minimum rent during the subsequent 2 years. Subsequent 2 years means next 2 years. Remember this point. The word next, subsequent, following, and proceeding. These 4 words gives the same meaning. That is next 2 years. Okay, recoupment for is short working recoupment period is next 2 years. And one more condition is here. The publisher have right to ask the revision of the book. That means frequently or after the publication, the author has to revise the book according to the requirements of the readers. According to the requirements of the readers, author is to revise the book and publisher has to reprint the book. This is the agreement between the lessor and lessee and book, which the author has to complete within 3 months. That means the author has to revise the book whenever the publisher has to ask, and the author has to complete the process of revision within 3 months. Within 3 months, he has to complete the process of revision, and that is to be submitted to the publisher. Okay. Delay was subject to a fine of rupees 1,500 per month. Suppose the author makes delay in returning the manuscript after completion of the revision, then for the delay, there is a fine of rupees 1,500 per month, and also the minimum rent clause not apply in that year. You see this point very clearly. Author has to revise the book. Author has to revise the book, and that revision process is to be completed within 3 months. Suppose he is unable to complete the revision within 3 months, and if there is a delay for 1 month delay, 1,500 is the penalty. For 1,500 is the monthly penalty. Suppose he makes 1 month delay, he is to incur 1,500 rupees penalty. There is 2 months delay, he is to incur 3,000 penalty. And if there is a delay in resubmission of the script, then the author or the lessor has the author has to leave the minimum rent clause also, and in that year minimum rent clause is also not applicable. Means there is no minimum rent for that year. If he revises, suppose he revises the book and submits the book within time, no problem. If he fails to revise the book within the time, for late period he has to incur 1,500 penalty, and the minimum rent will not be applicable. Whatever royalty is there, that is to be given to the author, and with that he is to satisfy. This is the point. Okay. So you remember, first point is minimum rent is 10,000. Rate of royalty is 2 rupees per book sold, and recoupment period is next 2 years. And for delay in revision, 1,500 rupee per month penalty to the author, not to the lessee. Remember this point. It is a penalty to the author, and minimum rent will not be applicable in that year. This is the point. Okay. Then books printed and sold details are 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 8. Number of copies sold is given. The publisher sent a request for revision of the book on 1/4/2006. On 1/4/2006 means in the third year. In the third year, publishers requested to revise the book on 1/4/2006. The author sent the manuscript on 31/8/2008. Date of revision request is 1/4/2006. Date of revision, okay, request date is 1/4/2006. Within 3 months he is to complete. Within 3 months he is to complete. But what happened here? He returned the manuscript on 1/8/2006. Means 31st/8. That means April, May, June, July, August. Author has taken 5 months period. Author has taken 5 months period. Time given is only 3 months. But the author made a delay of 2 months. Author made a delay of 2 months. Therefore, author has to incur a penalty of rupees 1,500 per month. That is nothing but 3,000. 3,000 is the penalty. Clear? Then royalty account, short working account, Ramesh account in the books of Suman publisher. Publisher means lessee. In the books of lessee, they asked to prepare the accounts. You see the table. Royalty chart, date, year and dates. 5 years is the period. And next is output. Output means book sold. 4,000, 7,000, 3,000, 8,000, 10,000. Next, rate of royalty. 2 rupees, 2 rupees, 2 rupees, 2 rupees, 2 rupees. Rate of royalty is 2. Then multiply, you will get the royalty. Royalty is first year 8,000, second year 14,000, third year 6,000, fourth year 16,000, fifth year 20,000 royalty. Next, minimum rent. Minimum rent is 10,000 first year, second year 10,000, third year 0. Why it is 0? Author made a delay for returning the manuscript after revision. Therefore, minimum rent will not be applicable for this year. So minimum rent will not be given to the lesser author. No minimum rent. Okay. That's why I put the 0. Next year, 10,000 is minimum rent. Last year, 10,000 minimum rent. Okay, you see here I calculated the fine of rupees per month. Fine is 1,500. Delay is for 2 months. Therefore, 1,500 into 2 is 3,000 is the penalty. Okay, this is the penalty charged by the author. Remember this. Then come to the excess. First year no excess, second year no excess, third year 6,000 rupee excess is there because there is no minimum rent. Remember this point. There is no minimum rent. 6,000 is the excess amount. First year no excess, second year 4,000, third year 6,000 excess, and fourth year 6,000 excess. Last year 10,000 excess. Come to the short working. First year short working is 2000. Second year no. Third year no. Remaining years there is no short working. Okay. Then for recovery of short working, time given is for you people is 2 years. Okay. This 2000 is recovered in the second year itself. 2000 short working recovered in the second year. Second year. This is recovered in the second year. Time given is 2 years. Within 1 year, it is recovered. Therefore, there is no recovery. And C here. 6000 is the royalty for the year 2006. 31st of 2006. In the year 2006, 6000 is the royalty. Minimum rent is not applicable. There is no short working, and 6000 is the amount payable to landlord. Out of this 6000, author has to pay penalty. Out of this 6000, publisher deduct the penalty and remaining amount is paid to author. 6000 is the royalty payable. 6000 is the royalty payable to the author. There is no minimum rent, and out of this 6000, the publisher deduct the penalty of rupees 3000 for late submission by the author. 3000 is recovered. Therefore, I have taken 3000 in the SWR column. 3000 is the penalty recovered by the publisher. 2000 above amount is short working recovered, but this 3000 is the amount recovered as penalty. You remember this point. 3000 is not a short working. 3000 is a penalty recovered by the publisher. Remember this point. 3000 is the penalty recovered, and remaining years there is no recovery point. You put the 0 in the remaining columns. There is no SWIR. Okay. Then calculate the payment column. Payment is equal to royalty plus SW minus SWR, 10,000. Second year, royalty plus SW minus SWR, 12,000. Third year, royalty 6,000 plus SW0 minus SWR 3,000. 3,000 is the answer. How it is 3,000? 6,000 is the royalty payable to landlord, author, payable to author. Out of 6,000, penalty deducted 3,000. Remaining balance 3,000 paid to author. This is the point you remember. This is the important one in this problem. Remember this. Okay. This is the only one problem in this book. And this is only one time asked for the BCom for SEM students by the university. Remember this. This is only one example. Repeatedly you go through the video. Then fourth year is 16,000 minus 0 plus 0. 16,000 is the payment. Last year 20,000 plus 0 minus 0. 20,000. Okay, this is a royalty chart. Now we prepare the necessary accounts in the books of Suman Publisher. Suman Publisher is the lessee. Okay, first royalty account. In the royalty account, you write the date to Ramesh, author. You write the lesser name. Lesser is author. Author is publisher. Sorry, author is Ramesh. Okay, Ramesh. Royalty 8,000 by P&L account 8,000, total 8,000. First year complete. Second year date, Ramesh account 14,000 royalty, P&L account 14,000, total 14,000. Third year, Ramesh account 6,000 by P&L account 6,000, total 6,000. Next, to Ramesh account 16,000 by P&L account 16,000, total 16,000. Next year, Ramesh account 20,000 by P&L account 16,000, 20,000, total 20,000. Okay, 5 year completed. Next is the lesser account. Lesser is Ramesh. Next is Ramesh account. Ramesh is the author. And debit side you write bank, credit side royalty, debit side amount payment column, credit side amount royalty column, difference short working. You see here. To bank 10,000, by royalty 8,000, total 10,000, difference 2,000. My dear students, please mute your video. Please mute your video. Please don't disturb. Don't try to divert my concentration to other side. Please mute your video and try to understand this. First year difference 2,000. This difference is called a short working. Okay, short working. Next, second year bank account 12,000. By royalty account 14,000. Difference is 2,000. This difference is short working. Okay. Third year royalty is bank 3,000. Payment is 3,000. By royalty 6,000. And difference is 3,000. This difference, you remember this point. This difference is not short working. Remember this one. This difference of 3,000 is a fine. It is a fine charged by the charged by the publisher for delay. Okay, remember this. That's why I've taken as fine, not the short working. This point you remember for your future reference. This difference 3,000 is not short working, it is a fine. Next is two bank account, payment 16,000, by royalty 16,000, total 16,000. Last year, two bank 20,000, by royalty 20,000, total 20,000. There is no difference in the last 2 years. There is no difference in the last 2 years. Okay. Next is short working. In the short working account, to Suman account, SW, first year, sorry. Short working account, first year end date to Ramesh, author name. You put the author name, 2,000 is the SW amount. And in that year, there is no other amounts. There is no SW or SWIR. There is no SW or SWIR. Therefore, you take the balance. Balance is 2,000. Two balance brought down 2,000. You take the total by Ramesh account 2,000. Okay, this is the end of the second year. Okay, there is no balance for the second year and there is only one short working. that short working is recovered. Okay, this is the short working account. Clear? And these are the different examples I solved regarding the royalty in the books of lessee. Tomorrow I will solve only one problem based on lesser. Tomorrow I will solve one problem based on lesser. Maximum problems will be asked on the basis of lessee. Whatever I have solved already, this type of problems will be asked for your semester exam. Therefore, you make perfect this type of examples. And tomorrow I will solve one problem based on lesser. What are the journal entry in the books of lesser? Then how to prepare the ledger accounts in the books of lesser. Tomorrow I will solve one problem on lesser, and day after tomorrow I will change the next method. This is the first method. One more method is there, that is minimum rent method, and I'll solve the I'll go for the minimum rent method day after tomorrow. Okay, and you prepare your own notes. You prepare your own notes by going through the videos. Going through video, you prepare your own notes regarding the problems and solve the other problems also. Then if you are any, again and again you are disturbing. Repeatedly I am requesting, but you are not understanding my problem. You go through the problems already I uploaded in the Google Drive. You go through exercise, solve the problems. Suppose you face any problems, you call me. I can tell you the clue how to solve it. Otherwise, at the end, I will dictate all the problems. And suppose you are unable to clear your doubt, during offline classes, I clear all the doubts regarding your financial accounting. Okay. Thank you. We will see tomorrow. And during this online class, I restricted you people to enter because of your